AEW has some great news circulating the internet, and it's honestly pissing off a lot of the haters. But I'm here to tell you why this is great news for AEW, and all of those haters can shove it on this episode of Screw the Script. So, not even 48 hours ago, AEW had information released, not by Tony Khan himself or AEW as the promotion or Warner Media, but from a very reputable source. His name is BJ Bethel. I have it right here for you. And just real quick, I'm just going to read it through while you guys read it. All Elite Wrestling is averaging around 500,000 viewers for its Wednesday Dynamite show on the Max streaming platform since the show debuted on the app this year, according to sources. Combined with live cable numbers, this would give Dynamite an average of around 1 to 1.2 million viewers per episode since it was added to the streaming service. This is incredible news. He goes on to say, according to sources with knowledge of the numbers, the show is averaging around 60 million minutes watched per show, with a deviation of plus minus 10 to 20%, depending on the episode. Obviously, there's always going to be deviations for shows. That's just the nature of being in the industry. But again, this is great news. And BJ Bethel is a reputable source. He months ago leaked the news about AEW going to Max well before Tony Khan even announced it publicly, or before it was promoted on their flagship show of Dynamite. He is a reputable source, and I've been seeing a lot of haters out there. Just people on the internet. JD from New York, who is a complete, scruffled prick. I mean, he is. He's just salty that he got mixed up with Alexa Bliss not long ago, and now Mercedes Moné got him booted from commentary during her match. Rightfully so. I'm on her side. He's honestly have shown in the past to be kind of a misogynist. So he's out there. He released a video touting, haha, this is pathetic. This is all fake. He is going to look like one of the biggest losers and idiots spewing nonsense and hate towards AEW for no reason if this is 100% legit. I'm on the team that it is already legit from the source that it came from. If it's not, we'll see where that goes. But I'm on the side of this is legit, and guys like JD from New York is not good for business, is not good for the wrestling industry, because he's going around touting a bunch of nonsense and just hating on AEW lately. He used to be what you would call like an AEW supporter. He wanted them, to succeed. And then somewhere down the line with the Mercedes stuff and then some decisions Tony Khan has made, and some of them have been questionable, some of them have been bad decisions. But I don't know if he just has like dementia or what, because it's kind of hypocritical to hate on AEW, who is such a young, 6-year-old company, when you've got WWE and all of the allegations that they've faced over the years, all of the negativity, all the bad things going out. I mean, you literally have Pat McAfee right now, I just read on the internet long ago, who's getting possible legal action for spreading misinformation about some women or something at like college or something. I don't know the exact story. Just look into it. If you search Pat McAfee, he's under fire. But you're going to see silence, crickets, chirps from guys like JD, and then a bunch of AEW haters who are going to be hypocritical, and they don't look inward and, question WWE and all their poor choices and all their bad decision making that they have done many times, a plethora of years over their decades of being a company. And it's just frustrating to see that. I mean, you see it all over the place. He's just more of a reputable person, I wanted to point out, because he's got a big following. But with that big following comes power, and with that power and his misinformation and trying to hate on a company and just outright try and call, this report, which is all over the internet now on multiple, wrestling sites coming from multiple people. If this is false, that is a huge mistake by AEW. And hey, I will admit that is a big mistake. But if this is legit, I will be shocked to see if JD from New York admits that he was wrong and that he was, and honestly just an asshat and trying to hate AEW for its accomplishment. They are succeeding, and there are many reasons why they're succeeding. This next one right here, for example, the all-in start time. This is a great idea. They're starting it earlier in the day so it can hit many time zones without people having to sacrifice their sleep. Eastern starting at 3 p.m., Central, which is my time zone, 2 p.m., Mountain Time, 1 p.m., and then over in Greenwich, 7 p.m., British Summertime, 8, Central, Europe, 9, Japan, 4 a.m., so a little early, but, if you go to bed early, you can wake up and watch it. Take the day off. Australian, 5 a.m. They are hitting all the markets. They are seeing success being on Max. They are seeing success being on Amazon Prime for their pay-per-views right now. They are seeing success in other countries that don't have those options, and now I've read sources that it's on Disney Plus. This is believable. And the fact that there are people out there that are now going to be like, oh, well, this is a bunch of bullshit. No. Just take the L, honestly. There's so many people that want AEW to fail, and time again, they have proved and shown they are here for the long run. They are sticking around. It's not going away. And just these two examples here is plenty enough. But I'll bring up another one here in a second. Another one right up here. AEW opened up a YouTube channel for Japan. It's literally all in Japanese, is what it looks like. They are expanding their market like crazy in 2025. They have had 2025. I'm just going to say, this is maybe too soon because we're only in early April, but I'm going to say 2025 is going to be their second best year in the company's history, aside from 2019 when they started and they were real hot. Because of all this groundbreaking stuff they're doing, these max numbers on top of their TV streams that people, are still watching them on cable. The smart decisions that they're making with, making an all-in week, changing the start times for that, moving Collision on Saturdays when it competes with WrestleMania. I mean, it's not them, seceding and waving a white flag. It's them recognizing, hey, the smart move is for our young 6-year-old company to move nights that week. Because they're not stupid. They know that everybody's going to be watching WrestleMania. I will be watching WrestleMania. So it is another smart move. They are now expressing some fragility and not being too arrogant. They are saying, hey, you know what? We know what the fans want. We're finally going to give them what they want. We're making these changes to give them what they want. And then you have other things going around too. You've got this long one here by Christian Cage. I'll get that up there. You can pause this video if you want to read it, because I'm not going to have it up there for a whole 3 minutes. It's quite long. But basically what Christian is saying there is he's siding with what MJF expressed on X the other day, saying like, hey, it's okay to mention AEW and WWE. It's okay for AEW to mention WWE. It's it's part of the industry. This has happened in the past with TNA. This has happened in the past with Nitro. Like it's normal for this to happen. But lately we've been seeing WWE taking a lot of shots towards AEW, much like what AEW used to do. And again, chirps. All those people that were hating on AEW doing that are completely stone silent when WWE does it back. And the hypocrisy is ridiculous. And if you read that Christian thing, he sides with MJF and he says like, hey, stop this hate, essentially, to paraphrase it. And I agree with Christian, and more people need to be like Christian. It's insane. And then you've got, like other reasons why they're succeeding. I went to the show in St. Paul 2 weeks ago now, or no, it was just last week, sorry. Last week, I was in St. Paul for that Dynamite. We had seats that were only 5 or 6 rows back from ringside, from front row. $100. $100. You can't go wrong with that. I looked up the ticket prices for the tickets that are still available for this upcoming Raw in Minneapolis at the Target Center, and they're not quite nosebleeds, but the upper level decker, like man, I cannot talk. I gotta slow down. Upper level seating on the second row, the second level or whatever, that was $100. That's like 40 rows back, 40 to 50 rows back from the front row. And they're charging $100. AEW is a lot more affordable. And that's, it makes sense. Again, they are the younger promotion. So it makes sense that they're going to be charging less for tickets. They have seen a resurgence in ticket sales. The move, again, here's another smart move that a lot of haters are going to still hate on for whatever reason. They're going to twist it around and find ways to hate on this, but they have been selling out smaller venues. Yes, they went to smaller venues. We're all aware. But honestly, they look nice. They're different. They're unique week by week. I mean, the one that I went to last week in St. Paul, that auditorium is historic, and it looked great on television. I went back and rewatched it. I found myself on TV. It was awesome. I was 5 or 6 rows back from the announce table, and there was a spot where my girlfriend and my friend and I made it on TV for like 5 seconds. It was sweet. All for $100. And you're not going to get that with WWE. You're going to pay 3-4 times more average ticket price for less wrestling and more acting. Ooh, oh man, that's a good segue into this next part, because my God, do I have all the respect for you, Bret Hart, but you looked like such a company paid man by WWE when you just said this. Are you kidding me? Bret Hart, who is a pro wrestler's wrestler, wants to go out and has the audacity to say that AEW is trying too hard to be like actors. Do you know how ironic that is to hear and read when literally for months their main complaint, the haters for AEW's main complaint, was they don't have enough promos, they don't have enough storylines and stuff, which all falls under the acting column, not pro wrestling. WWE is more acting than pro wrestling. Literally one of the hottest things in WWE for a couple of years now is a freaking love triangle between Dom and Rhea and Liv Morgan. That's some soap opera bullshit. That's wrestlers trying too hard to be actors. Not only that, but literally WWE has produced a lot of wrestlers turned actors. You got John Cena, who's been in a lot of movies, Randy Orton, Triple H, Big Show, and then some bigger guys, The Rock, who's been in so much stuff. Batista, honestly, Batista's the best. A little side note, out of all those guys, he is great in Hollywood. But that proves my point. They have so many wrestlers that turn into actors because guess what? WWE for many years, they call themselves sports entertainment for a reason, because it's sports entertainment. It's the closest you're going to get to acting as you can get. And so I disagree with Bret Hart real hard on this. I genuinely think that he is completely wrong, and it's the opposite. AEW is more pro wrestling centric. It's why and the numbers don't lie, it's why their weekly episodes have more wrestling on TV for you to watch. Per minute, per show, there is just more minutes of wrestling in the ring. There is less promo bullshit. There's less advertising bullshit. There's less celebrity bullshit. Hey, that's another point. I guarantee you at WrestleMania, we're going to have multiple segments each night showcasing, hey, here's Travis Scott. Hey, here's this celebrity. Here's this celebrity in his family. It's all about celebrities. Half the time, it feels like the fucking Oscars. Bret Hart, you are wrong. You are dead wrong. I'm sorry. I respect you. You're one of the best ever, but you are wrong in this. And, that's just... It's sad that this is only I think my 22nd video, and this is already my third or fourth video since starting my channel where I've had to just come out and state my side of it and say, you know what, like, this has got to stop. This is continuing. You have enablers that have a lot of power, like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this channel, or sorry, the beginning of this episode, and then the point that I just got across with Bret Hart. He has a lot of power. He's been around for decades. And of course, a lot of people are going to support him if they're pro WWE and anti AEW. They're going to be like, oh, hey, Bret Hart's on our side, even though 5 years ago he literally was out there holding the AEW World Title Championship above his head. But, you know, he goes where the best dollar goes. And now he's going to spew and say that they're trying too hard to be actors. Are you serious? No. WWE is trying way too hard to be actors. Every episode of Raw, especially SmackDown, it's half of it is promos and segments backstage. It's all acting. When you're in the ring and wrestling, yes, it's scripted, but that's wrestling. That's sports centric. That is beating the shit out of each other. That's not acting. So that's all I had on this episode of Screw the Script. I felt like free therapy again to sit and talk to you guys and just unload how frustrated I am with yet more positive AEW news coming out, and you still see people trying to hate on it and bash it down. And I'm just here to voice my opinion and to voice my support for a 6-year-old company in AEW, and I want them to succeed. I want WWE to succeed. Again, I've been a pro wrestling fan for 25 years. I was a wrestling fan long before AEW was around. But they are an alternative to WWE since its beginning, its inception in 2019, and I am glad they are here for it. I watch both. I support both. But I cannot stand when you see, honestly, just false news come out, or, you know, just negative attacks from people, and it's not even really factual. It really isn't. So we'll see where this goes. We'll see if the reports about Max streams are true. Again, I said earlier, if they aren't true and this was like a leak, you know, don't blame Tony Khan. Don't shit on AEW. It would be more so of a BJ Bethel or JD Bethel. I think it's BJ Bethel is his name. It'd be more on him than anything to leak something that's not true. But again, I'm more so siding with the fact that it's accurate. And AEW is having a great 2025, and I've shown multiple ways why they're having a great 2025, and it seems like there's a lot of haters that are back all over the internet trying to make it awful, trying to to downplay it, trying to hate on them. You know, keep it coming. Keep it coming. It's like AEW is like David and WWE's Goliath, and, you know, like, they are the smaller promotion. They have been around far less in terms of years. They don't even have a Hall of Fame yet, which is crazy to think. But I want them to succeed. I always wanted TNA to succeed back in the day when they started in I think it was late 90s or early 2000s. And look, they're still around. They've had a resurgence, and that is great. So why can't we support AEW as well? This has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.